Alright guys, so here's the review of the Satori Companion. So this is a new British microbrand. It's going to be launching this watch on Kickstarter on the 12th of July. So I've been trying out the prototype for a while. So obviously with it being a prototype, I don't get to keep it, got to send it back once I'm done with the review. Also, with it being a prototype, there's going to be a few little changes between this one and the final version, but we'll talk about that as we get into the review. But enough waffling, let's jump right in and show you what it's all about. So here's the packaging it comes in. Pretty simple box with the Satori logo on there, and then just got the watch inside because this is a prototype, as I said. No warranty card or anything, so pop all this to one side and then we'll get right down to it. And here's the actual watch. So they've got a few different colours if you don't like this green one. They've also got a black one, a white one and a blue one, so hopefully you'll find one that you do like. And the first thing that probably stands out with this is this unusual bezel design. So it's a fixed bezel, but it has got some nice detailing on there. Gives it a pretty distinctive look. And we've also got a really nicely finished case. That's satin finish. Pretty simple, but I think it does look good. And then we've got that signed crown there, the Satori logo again. When it comes to the dial, just going to zoom in and show you that in a bit more detail. So it's a fully printed dial, nothing applied. But we have got quite a bit of depth to it. So you can see you've got that minute tracker on the outside on that slope section. And then we've also got 24-hour kind of sub-dial almost in the centre, which is a nice touch because it is a field kind of watch. One thing I didn't notice straight away though was these hands. They seem a little on the small side for this kind of watch. I think they should be slightly larger really. I kind of get what they're going for with the hour hand, with it being shorter so it can point to that 24-hour dial as well as the 12-hour one. But I think if anything they just need to be a bit fatter, if not longer maybe. They just need a little more size to them overall because they look kind of lost on that dial I think. And then you can see we've got that date window over at the 3 o'clock. And then we've actually got the Satori logo at the top. And then Satori written down above the automatic as well, above the 6. So just mixing up slightly there. As soon as we're zoomed in, I'll show you the detailing on that crown a bit more. Nicely done. And then when it comes to the strap, it's a canvas strap. And you can see it's starting to wear a little bit around these holes already when it's being around the other reviewers. So that could possibly be an issue. Then we've got a leather backing on it though, and quick release too. Pretty nice case back design. Again, that's the Satori logo. And you can see we've got Swiss automatic. That's because it's got an SW200 in this. Stainless steel, water resistance, 100 meters, and it is a screwed down case back as opposed to a screwed case back. So as soon as we touched on it, let's show you that movement in action. So it's just a push pull crown. I'm going to move them out of the way so you can see the date wheel. And change the date. Pop it out again. Second hand stops, we'll go hacking. And then obviously we can just change the time. Pop it back in. Second hand re-engages. And then you've got hand winding. All working well, no issues. So now let's go over the dimensions on this. So we've got a 43mm diameter, 11.4mm thick, lug width of 20, and a lug to lug of 50mm. So right on that limit for most people with the average 7-inch wrist. But it's good that they didn't go above that 50. So it should fit most people quite well. Obviously if you've got a smaller than 7-inch wrist that could be a slight issue. Might be a touch on the large side. But now, let's test whether we've got sapphire crystal on this. Using the trusty diamond selector 2. And no, we haven't actually got sapphire on this. So this is probably because it's a prototype, because all of the information I've been given says that the final version will actually have sapphire. So I'll have to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it will, based on what I've been told. But as I say, this is just a prototype, so they probably haven't bothered, just to keep the cost down a bit. But now let's check out what the loom's like. So you can see we've got a little bit there, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And the loom on this is BGW9. But again, with this being a prototype, it's going to be improved over what you're going to see here. But what we've got already isn't actually too bad. So it's consistent across the hands and the indices, despite the indices only being printed and not applied. But again, I still think on those hands they could do with being a little bit thicker, and then you could also get a bit more loom on there as well. But let me know, what do you think? In terms of longevity, it's not too bad. As I say, this is a prototype, so it's going to be getting improved for the final version. So you're probably wondering, how much is this going to cost? So when it comes to the retail price, it's going to be, but as I say, this is going to be launching on Kickstarter on the 12th of July. So if you want to get the best price, the super early bird price is going to be £350. So pretty significant price difference. So if you do want to pick one up, I'd definitely recommend getting in early on that super early bird. And I think for what you're getting with that Swiss Salita movement, the BGW9, which again is going to be improved, a pretty distinctive case design, at that super early bird price, it's pretty good. I'm not entirely sure whether I'll be paying the full retail price, but I guess that'll depend on the improvements. Make sure it's definitely going to have the sapphire. I'm pretty sure it probably will. And obviously improving that loom a bit. Possibly tweaking those hands a little bit maybe. But again, that's what the Kickstarter is for. So if you're interested in picking one of these up, if you're getting on that Kickstarter, hopefully you can try and get them to change for you a little bit, to tweak them to how you want. But all I'll have to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. It does wear really nicely. As I say, 50mm lug to lug, right on the limit of what I think is going to work for my 7-inch wrist personally. But I do like that bezel design. Just adds a little bit of interest to an otherwise fairly plain case. But again, really nicely finished with that satin finish. And then that flat crystal, just got plenty of AR as well. Again, hopefully the final version is going to be sapphire from what I've been told. Another slight niggle I've got maybe is this strap. A little bit worrying that these are starting to fray already, just from it being around with the reviewers. So perhaps they could change the strap up, or maybe add some little metal rings or something around these to protect them. Or some stitching or something, just to improve that, so it doesn't wear as badly as this one tends to have been. But it's really comfortable with the leather backing, and again, bar that, it's nicely finished. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, perhaps make the hands a touch bigger. But other than that, you can't really complain. You're getting a Swiss SW200 movement, you're getting the BGW9, hopefully getting a sapphire crystal, excellent finishing on that case, and a fairly unique design as well. It's nice to see the new brands coming out doing different stuff, not just divers. So I quite appreciate this one, but let me know, what do you think? Are you interested? Do you think they've got the pricing right? Let me know down in the comments. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.